listening to Pregame Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Pregame Podcast. It's great to have everyone back. Jake's here with me.
Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
And we've also got another Pregame Elder joining us today.
Hey guys, it's Fisher. Sorry I couldn't be there for the first one. I was tending to some pregame business.
Yeah, Pregame Elders are very busy all the time. So today we've got some great things in store. We're going to be, we have a celebrity guest coming up, and then we're going to do some interviews for a new pregame position later in the podcast, and those will be live from some of our pregame members. So it's going to be a good episode, lots of stuff to come, so sit back, relax, plug in your cans, and pop open your cans, and let's get started.
You're listening to Pregame Podcast.
All right, we're ready for our first celebrity guest on the podcast.
Ooh.
We're going to be bringing in Mr. Isaac to interview, and we're going to talk to him about his contributions at the feast.
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, welcome,
Hello,
Isaac.
Isaac.
How's it going?
Yeah, great. Been dining with the Feasters for a little while now. It's about time I get to see some action on the podcast.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have you here.
Awesome.
So I know Jake had some questions he wanted to ask you. Jake, do you have anything you want to start off with?
Double and give it to the next person. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, just thinking about it, what is your favorite thing about pregame?
Wow. Favorite thing about pregame. Don't know if this is a cliche, but I want to see it's the memories we made along the way. You know, scouting out our locations, arranging food together. Everything happens, transporting food, getting our celebrity guests on, the game shows, of course. You know, just the cumulative piece I get from when everything comes together to make a beautiful feast. I'd say that's it.
Yeah, and especially Isaac.
Harmony, exactly.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And Isaac's created a lot of that harmony. He's done a lot of contributions for the feast. For instance, he helped write our pregame rules. He's helped create the prize photos for our trivia games. He's helped with lots of just planning and things like that, bringing food, bringing equipment.
He's helped excavate some of the pregame location with his car.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually a topic that I was wanting to get to in a bit. We'll get there.
Absolutely.
First, I was curious, Isaac, you have been known for being the one to print out the trivia prize photos, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your experience here, how you go about printing those out.
Yeah. So I by chance stumbled into a way. So every now and then, every here and there, I get the chance to get some free photos printed from local pharmacy. You know, it changes sometimes, just like CVS, Walgreens, whatever. Anyway, whenever this opportunity comes up, I let our pregame council know, and sometimes they've just got the perfect idea for using a little bit of a handout. You know, so these photos. They can be of anything. They can be of people, places, events, people, places, in events. Anyway, these photos become all sorts of things. They have become, I don't know how to say it. They've become propaganda for the feast, I could say, in a way. Promotional material.
Oh, definitely.
And as aforementioned, they've slotted themselves into our little game shows that have happened before.
And I believe you said these photos, you're able to get them for free?
I am, indeed, yeah.
How does that work?
Oh, that's an Isaac secret.
Oh, a trade secret.
Great secret. Only the artisan knows.
All right, well, I guess it's
Can't tell you
perfectly
that
fair.
one.
But I think something you touched on a bit earlier ago that a lot of people might want to hear about. We just have to talk about the sinking of the Subaru. It's such an iconic moment. We gotta talk about it with you here.
Yeah, I guess I could talk about the fabled sinking of the Subaru. So, a long time ago in a field far, far away, by we, I mean, some members of the feast figured that we would try to improve upon the grounds for our next event. And so, we took a little trip down to what felt like Mississippi, because man, was it steamy and mushy.
And
this is right after the rainy season. Probably
and just for
right
some
after
context,
a hurricane too.
this field is actually the field we currently use for pregame. So this was when we were making the transition from the B table to this new field, and we were scouting out the area when we had some time.
B table, dude.
For real.
Terrible.
Anyway, my car was the ride of choice for scouting. Little dune buggy, if you will. It's a Subaru. What can you say? Sturdy car, 4-wheel drive. It'll take you where you gotta go. Anyway, we're driving off. Go off the main road. We go into this field, right? Smooth sailing. A little bumpy. Actually, no, that's absolutely not smooth sailing. It was really bumpy.
It was quite bumpy because Mr. Isaac here went full speed out into the field.
Hydroplaning on mud.
We were hydroplaning on mud. So, in a field, terrain is pretty difficult to judge because all the grass is just at your eye level. So what does the road look like? I don't know. You start driving, a little bumpy here and there, you hit a little dip, you come out of the dip, who knows what's going on. Anyway, we're driving, and I hit a patch of mud. And I'm like, oh, it is wet out here.
I have the memory of
bad idea.
you pulling out into the field and going full speed towards the other side, and me looking out the window and seeing
maybe
dry land, but then suddenly splashing water.
Sink.
I could have sworn I saw like a flying fish like go flying.
Oh, I want to interject something here.
Oh, for sure.
I just thinking about it now. I'm imagining, I can imagine Austin's face when he saw the mud fly up. It was like if Isaac
his face
went into a pool. Your face, you were like, right when we hit that pothole or whatever it was, you were like, whoa, wow, and just started freaking out. I was crying.
Now the car sunk into the hole.
Well, that hadn't happened yet. Actually, that hadn't happened yet. What happened is
we
freaked
out.
out.
Patch of mud. I turn around. All right. I realized that the mud was not good. We turn around. All right.
Go back to the dry semicircle area.
We go back to the clear land before Graceville, Alabama terrain encroaches on us. Anyway,
and I think I had the idea we should all get out and just walk out there just to scout it out because obviously the car was not going to work. But when we actually got out there, I was like, "Hey, this area is like completely dry. I think there was just some water over there where we drove, but actually this whole main area out here is completely dry. We could still take the car out here."
You are correct. Yeah. So we were dry land. We tested the waters, and by waters, I want to say land because there was no water apparently. We just had a little slip up with some mud. So, everyone, back to the car, all aboard, toot toot. We turn around and we start driving out to the field again, and we're doing swell, just fine.
Nice and bumpy,
our goal was to encircle a little island of trees that was in the middle of the field. We thought that would be a good goal. So we start driving out, or I start driving out, rather, and a little down the road, similar thing happens. We hit a little patch of mud. And
it starts getting bumpy.
Okay.
And it's not just mud, it's actual water.
A little splash. And
yeah,
we're
exactly.
Thinking, okay, same thing as before. It's a little wet. We'll just drive through it. The car should be able to take it. So front wheels are now deep in mud. Okay. I floor it. Back wheels are turning. We push forward. Now the back wheels are in the mud too. This pool is as big as the car. And so actually, here's where the problem comes up. So front wheels, back wheels in the mud. If you ever driven in mud, you know that's not a great time for your traction. We're not going anywhere at this point, right?
Before we came to a complete stop, I remember you tried flooring it, like you said, to get us out of this mud. But then there was a big kadunk, and the whole front of the car just dipped down, stopped super fast. And then there was like a massive spray of black sludge all over the window shield.
Yeah,
and we're like,
you're not wrong in saying that.
And as soon as that happened,
from mud to sludge.
And as soon as that happened, we stopped, and the back part of the car slowly started sinking down.
The back was sinking. We were panicking because when you lose your footing, it's not a good time for anyone. So this car is moving down at an alarming rate.
Yeah, definitely. So we're like,
I had just hit a patch of quicksand. It was not.
Let's evacuate the car, right? We need to get out. So we all bail out the back seats.
I try drive it backwards. No dice there either. So, what's the next plan? Let's get out and assess the situation.
Yeah.
So, in a panic, throw all the doors open, get out of the car, stare at it, see what's going on. nothing good.
And might I mention here, during this whole fiasco, this is just pure adrenaline right now. And we're supposed to be back in the band room for practice in about 15 minutes as well.
With me wondering where you guys are.
Exactly.
Yeah. we had a warm up very soon.
And also, might I add, Austin, Isaac, and Jake, you left the doors to the car open
we'll get there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, by this point, we're on a time crunch, so we're panicking. I've just gotten my car stuck in what seems to be a lake of quicksand.
And it's actively sinking.
Not good for the mind. The car is actively, sliding down into the abyss of Floridian ground. Everyone's out of the car. I decide, okay, I'll hop back in and I'll try hitting the gas again, and nothing really happens. And Jake, oh my gosh, my beloved buddy Jake, he says, he turns to me, he stares me in the eyes, and he says, I can push it. And I say, what? No, you can't. He's like, no, trust me, I can push it. I'm like, okay, we'll try this. So,
punch it, Chewy.
Get in the car, Jake's in the back, and I'm just like, let me know when you're ready. He's like, all right, good to go. Both hands on the trunk. Thunder Thighs here, puts all his might into it, and lo and behold, we get a nudge. The car moves forward just a little bit.
It was
right?
so
We've gone
promising,
from sinking in a hole of mud to now in a pit of fresher mud, not so sunk in. And then he's like, it's working, keep going. So we do. We keep moving forward, and soon enough, the car grips ground somehow. And I immediately drive out, circle back around, and I say, everyone get back in the car. We all get in the car.
We got out there as fast as possible.
Yeah, we did not want to spend any more time.
We were afraid of that place. But the issue...
Jake probably gave him a high five. It was a great time.
Yes. The issue Fisher just brought up, though, when we were just in such a state of panic, we weren't really thinking. So, all of us in the back just, busted out of the car doors to get out of the car that was, seemed like it was sinking. And we left all of the doors wide open. So when Isaac was hitting the gas to get out of the mud, all of that mud from the back tires, it was just spraying up into the inside of the car doors, which were open, and drenching them in sludge.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what the aftermath of that was. The car was covered head to toe in mud, as if you had just taken some roasted corn and rolled it around in seasoning, man. It was
every inch of the car was
mud.
Drenched.
All of it.
Every square inch of the car was covered in mud, and the doors were also now covered in mud. Because if you'll remember,
and
I had
insides
tried
of the
reversing
doors
out of the pool as well.
The inside of the car.
I had tried reversing out of the puddle, right? And being 4-wheel drive, the front wheels and back wheels are turning, throwing mud forward. And so there's mud getting on my windshield. There's mud getting on the open doors. Not great. We're in the car. We're driving back. The whole place smells like hillbilly city, man. It is
exactly.
It is just ridden. Man. The air is soaked in water, mud, sludge.
And we were traumatized.
Everything you wouldn't want. It was terrible. We're driving back into panic.
We headed back to the parking lot.
Chairs.
You somehow managed to get there in time.
Yeah, we had
I don't know how.
10 minutes left once we were at the parking lot, but we tried to make some efforts to clean the car. Fisher, I'm curious to what was your reaction when you first saw Isaac's car covered in all of that mud?
Okay, so beforehand, I had not known where you guys were. And then, and it was dinner time. It wasn't fully call time yet, but it was dinner time and you weren't there yet. And so that made it seem a little problematic. So I remember I asked you guys where you were, and Austin sent me a message, something along the lines of, we're stuck. Without much more context than that. Just, we're stuck. And so I never received much context until I saw the rust bucket that was left of Isaac's car. I could not believe it. I thought it was Christmas morning and I had been a naughty boy. It looked like I had just received the biggest lump of coal known to man. I walked out and I just see this black moving automation in front of me. And I asked Austin, and he's like, we got unstuck.
Definitely did.
It was...
That
you did.
It wasn't good. Speaking
at what cost?
When we got unstuck, Jake, you were behind the car pushing. Do you have any what were you thinking during that moment?
Jake, were you slipping as well? Were you?
No, dude, I was like the Berlin Wall, bro. I was like stuck in there. So the funny thing is, I was wearing a white shirt and khakis. So and then I was also wearing 2-month-old white Miami Ultra Boosts, and they were like white.
And
so
you can imagine
right when I got out of that,
not anymore.
They were right when I got out of that. Right, some places on my shirt were a little brown. Like I wiped it off, like came off super easily. Same for the shorts, but my shoes were now they were the brown Miami Ultra Boosts.
Yeah, I remember seeing those. That was pretty crazy. So speaking of
hilarious.
The parking lot, Isaac, obviously we had to clean the inside of your car doors, and there was a specific method we ended up using.
Oh yes, this I did see.
I can give a little info on that one. So, by this point, everyone and their grandpa had heard about this massive fiasco, and people were coming to check it out. So we got some of our friends. The band director even came out, gave us some advice on how tire treads are a good thing, and I didn't have any.
Yes.
So I figured I should get some new tires after that.
His tires at that moment
don't know who it was.
Smooth.
They were pretty darn bald. It was not great for me.
So we found someone
in our lovely community brought back some wet wipes, some Clorox or something. And we just started going at the doors with those. We're just wiping down the inside of the car with wet wipes. And it did not a bad job, but I guarantee if you go to my car and you'd really dig around, you could find some dirt in the speakers in the passenger side door.
And I think we used about
it was not great.
40 or so wet wipes that were just
used roughly a container
and
of wipes.
Completely brown, and someone had to carry them back in, throw them away, and it was just traumatizing.
Yeah. All right.
If you're listening
talk about the aftermath a little
Spotify,
bit,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, sure. Talk about the aftermath a bit.
Okay. So, Jake launched us off pretty well right here. Jake was the focus of everything that happened after the incident here. So Jake's covered in mud, right? And it's almost time to go boogie down with the band, eat some dinner, whatnot. So we're gonna try to get this big boy cleaned up. We get into the bathroom and we realize we need some more resources. So we go over to the locker room, changing room. Got some showers back there. Got some soap and water.
You used the HT showers?
I don't know if we used the showers, but they were definitely there.
I have never seen them in use ever. That would have been the first.
Well, they were there. Might have used sinks. He might have changed his clothes. Probably changed his clothes. Anyway, that was our next little interaction. We hung around there for a little bit, did a little fiddling, trying to get Jake cleaned up for the dinner. And after that, I hope I'm not missing anything big, but I think we then ended up eating Jenna's like baked ziti or something.
Yeah,
omnivore meal.
The omnivore meal.
The omnivore meal on ice. Yeah, and then our band teacher actually told us a story after that. He said that when he used to, go around in open fields and do the same thing, but when one of his high school friends did that with his dad's car, and his dad's car actually sunk.
Yikes.
So I'm just glad we weren't in that. Man. And then also, if you think about it, I think I want to say not even a month later, Isaac did get new tires. He was all good after that.
You're fine now.
Oh yeah, I think that's it for the
Subaru,
time being of the Subaru.
Yeah. So Isaac, thanks for hopping on for the podcast. Yeah. We got to talk about some
thanks for the invite.
Things.
That was great.
You could stick around for the rest of the podcast. Soon we're going to be interviewing the first few pregame chancellors.
Chancellors, I like chancellors.
The auditions. But first, we're going to go for a quick ad break here. A message from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Ooh, nice.
Are your irritable bowels getting in the way of what matters most to you? Tired of professional consultations that just aren't doing the job? Look no further than Chug and Plug, the only over-the-counter daily supplement guaranteed to reduce the effects of chronic and acute diarrhea. Results not guaranteed. Chug and Plug, the once-a-day gut booster, available in capsule and liquid forms, affordable at a pharmacy near you. Please consult a primary care physician before taking Chug and Plug, or if your condition worsens after taking Chug and Plug. Do not exceed recommended daily dosage. Chug and Plug is not a substitute for professional care. Not suitable for children under the age of 12. Possible side effects include dryness of the skin, insomnia, soreness in the spine, diarrhea, and loss of appetite. Chug and Plug.
You're listening to Pregame Podcast.
All right. So we have a new opening in pregame known as the Chancellor position. So Chancellor of Pregame. they will provide and manage mostly games and activities going on at pregame, as well as what everybody's bringing.
Right.
So
this role is pretty esteemed. It's a pretty esteemed position. So we're actually holding an audition process within our Pregame Feasters group. And some of these feasters have stood up and decided to audition to get this role. So we're going to do some auditions for the rest of this podcast here live. So our first person we're auditioning is Mr. Rohan. Welcome, Rohan.
Hi.
So I believe Jake has some of our questions we're going to ask you.
All right. So, Rohan, here's the first question. It's very simple. What is your favorite thing about Pregame Feast?
Rutherford pulling up in his 09 Jeep Wrangler, with the broken headlights. Always a treat.
That's a great answer.
That's a great answer.
Isaac, you got anything to say?
Oh, absolutely. I'd say Rutherford is a staple of the pregame.
Yeah, I agree. He's really become.
It's almost like he's part of the family now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, family is everything at pregame. And, one more member, it's all the better. More the merrier, I tell you.
Of course. All right, thanks for that answer. Next question, Jake.
All right. How can you improve the feasts?
I mean, just me being there is a great improvement. Yeah, I'm just kidding. We need more food. It's a feast after all. We can't be having Liam just running all across the freaking campus just to get 2 pizzas.
I like the way you think.
That is a great answer.
Are there any specific types of food that you would want to see more at the feast or advocate for?
I think next time we might have to just bring a custom pregame cake.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I like
custom cake. We could have our pregame treasurer do some of that, Mr. Isaac. All right, Jake. Next question.
What is your favorite food that somebody has brought to the feast?
It's got to be the spray cheese sandwiches.
Oh, that's a classic.
Absolute classic.
Cheese sandwiches. Mwah, chef's kiss.
Isaac, I think you were responsible for some of that. Do you want to explain a bit about how that came to be?
Yeah, I definitely was. Sure was a fiasco. All right, I'll give you the rundown. The comprehensive recipe. How do you make a cheese sandwich pregame beekeeper style? All right.
Right.
So here's what you gotta do. You gotta get the griddle. You gotta plug it in, realize it doesn't work, and you're like, oh crap, what do I do now? Here's what you do. Take a slice of American cheese. You squirt some easy cheese, some spray cheese, comes from Walmart, wherever you want, right in the middle there. And you slap another slice right on top, American cheese. Okay? Now you've got a cheese sandwich. A sandwich made out of cheese, with cheese in the middle. Now what can I do? Obviously we were trying to make a grilled cheese in the first place, so we can just take those slices of white bread and slip our little cheese Frankenstein right in between them to have ourselves a delicious cheese sandwich. Share it with all your friends and your family, your loved ones.
An absolute classic.
The definite must-have at the next pregame.
Awesome for bringing that up, yeah.
We should have that Thanksgiving. That should be like a national food.
Oh, I agree.
It'd be its own holiday.
Yeah, put it right next to the stuffing.
It's cheese sandwich day.
Cheese sandwich day. I like it.
All right, Jake.
Right.
Next question.
What's your go-to gas station snack?
Ooh, I like that one.
That's an interesting question. It depends on where you're going, but normally you just grab like a bag of chips and then maybe like a chocolate bar if you're feeling special.
All right.
The real question is, what kind of chips? What's your go-to?
Yeah.
Oh, not Lay's for sure. Sometimes Doritos kind of hit when you're mentally stable. Sometimes.
And I can 100% agree that nacho cheese is calling my name.
Yeah.
True.
Solid choice.
All right. Here's this is a great question, actually. You're going to be very stumped. 3 things on an island. What are you bringing?
Ooh, very good.
What or who? Can I say people?
Yeah, anything.
If you so desire, it's up to you.
I'm bringing Mr. Allen.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, wow.
We're bringing our favorite Nigerian singer, Mayor Kun.
Oh,
right.
Love to see it.
And then, you can't have Mr. Allen without Dirt Days, so we got to bring the shovels too.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. That is a great
fantastic answer.
It's like a Dirt Day with the Mayor Kun private concert.
What more could you ask for?
What more could you want?
Not even survival anymore. It's just fun now. Everyone loves Dirt Days.
All right. And then here's kind of like, I kind of have like a bonus and a bonus question. All right.
Extra credit? Do I get extra credit points, or does Rohan, our guest, get extra credit points?
It's like a +1.
You might get a fossil sticker.
Mr. Allen's fossil stickers.
You know it. All right. Here's the question.
You know.
Who's your favorite committed pregame feaster?
Not including like the elders.
Not including
all the celebrity guests is what he's asking. Like
including
all of our
everyone. Okay.
Specifically, your favorite celebrity guest who's committed to the feast.
Well, we know the Mar-a-Lagos was committed to the feast, and that's kind of special.
Oh, for sure.
Oh wow, yeah.
A great location.
Mar-a-Lagos, yeah. So people who don't know, so when Trump's Mar-a-Lago house was raided by the FBI, I changed it instead of it Mar-a-Lago to Mar-a-Lagos. So
as in Lagos, Nigeria.
You know it.
Which we talked about in our last episode.
Here we go. Here's the bonus. You ready?
Of course.
Who is Doug Moser?
I can't say I know.
That is 100% okay, and that's why it's a bonus question. And then, what is your favorite? This is coming off the top of my head. What is one quote you always think about when you're like in tough times or at pregame or having fun or whatever? What's one quote?
I think of actually what Mr. Herntier said, where he he's like, I'm gonna need a restraining order if I'm gonna be near 5-year-olds. That one really sticks with me.
Oh, that's a great choice. Yeah, totally.
All right. Well,
I believe that's all of our questions.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming out, Mr. Rohan.
Thanks, Mr. Austin.
Why, thank you. All right, so that was Rohan, and now we're going to be moving on to our next guest.
You're listening to Pregame Podcast.
Okay, so our next guest auditioner here is Mr. Thomas. Welcome, Mr. Thomas.
Ooh, Thomas.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming out, Thomas. Started. Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
All right, so Jake's going to ask you some questions about Pregame Feast and about your potential new position. We just want to hear your thoughts on things, all right?
All right.
All right, take it away, Jake.
Whenever you are.
All right, so here we go. What is your favorite thing about Pregame Feast?
So my favorite thing so far has been the switch from the tables to the back of our cars. That was huge. It feels more homely there like that, and it feels like we're doing a big thing and we're actually coming out together to do something in the community rather than sitting at just a picnic bench.
That was great. Yeah, I like that answer.
Yeah, great answer.
Right. How can you improve the feast?
How can I improve the feast? So I can do what pretty much anyone else can do. Bring food, bring what's needed. But if I were to be elected for this position, there'd be some huge changes. To begin with, there would probably be some kind of list. So we're not all bringing sweets and we can all get our main dish, our main meal and all that stuff. Maybe we could organize a gift for certain people in the group who've been here for a long time of importance. That's, yeah.
Gotcha.
We really just need planning. Oh yeah, and trivia.
Of course.
Oh yeah, do that more.
Oh yeah.
Trivia was dearly missed. It's in the time between now and the last pregame. So yeah.
Oh, for sure. Those are some really good points. I liked what you said about that.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite food someone has brought to the pregame feast?
So my favorite food, that would probably be, I want to say it was Charlie who brought it. It was the Supreme Pizza randomly from Domino's.
Oh,
that took him like an hour to get because the driver couldn't get on campus. That one was a funny one too.
Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna have that story come out in our next episode.
Yeah, spoiler. This is foreshadowing. But yeah, that was a fun one. I can't really go into details because it's classified information. But that was a good one. You could really taste the commitment to pregame in that.
All right, nice answer, Jake. Next question.
Word. What is your go-to gas station snack?
Okay, so go-to gas station snack. If they got cheap hot dogs, I'm getting those because, like, if I can get 2 hot dogs for $1, that's what I'm doing.
Can I ask you something here? I've never actually pursued buying the hot food at gas stations. What's the appeal of it?
Oh.
The appeal of hot food is that it's hot and it's ready.
All right.
I say no more. I rest my case.
I understand.
I rest my case. It's hot and it's ready.
We're here in the deep south, so boiled peanuts aren't out of place, especially at little convenience stores. Have you ever tried boiled peanuts from like a 7-Eleven? I see them around sometimes.
The only time I've had boiled peanuts is when my grandma made them.
Okay.
They were really good,
So
but
no
I
gas
don't
station
think
peanuts.
I don't think gas station boiled peanuts are
But
going
hot
to
dogs
be
are
as
a
good
go,
as
is what you're saying.
I think hot dogs are the way to go. If they have
Okay.
ice cream there, like if you're at like a racetrack or something, yeah, those are probably good. I know racetrack has pretty good pre-prepared stuff. Like you can buy like individually wrapped like burgers and stuff.
Thomas seems very educated on this topic. I love it.
I know.
Yeah,
The thing is, the good thing about him is that usually, if you think about it, everybody when you buy hot foods from a gas station, if you think about it, right, the one gas station that everybody seems to like is Buc-ee's and Wawa. So going for a racetrack or a 7-Eleven is very unique, and I like it. I like it.
There is nothing that hits home quite like a 7-Eleven Slurpee.
Yeah. Dude.
100% agreed.
Yeah, dude. The problem with Wawa is it's always packed and it's kind of expensive for what you get. Like, I mean, I'm not going to the gas station to get a gourmet dinner. I'm going to the gas station because I want something hot and I want something now. Okay, I want it hot and ready, and that's really it. I'm not looking for an $8 or bagel. If I want a bagel, I'll just go to like Dunkin' Donuts or something.
Man, he's really passionate about this. I love that energy.
I love it.
You got some good points.
Good.
All right, next question, Jake.
All right, if you're stuck on an island, you can only bring 3 things. What are you bringing?
Okay, I got this. So first things first, we're bringing an entire boat, right? We're bringing a whole yacht. Now, this is going to be fully stocked, and it's going to be the entire thing, right?
You have a crew on this yacht to help you run it?
Yeah, a whole crew. Like, this is like, I'm talking like a Disney, like...
Yeah, you judges. Does this count as one item?
This counts as one item.
And supplies and...
I'm going to say it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's creative, and that's what matters.
I think a cruise ship is its own item, You can't have a cruise ship without the crew. It's like a part of it. Like, I wouldn't say a human's, like, without an arm is, like, not a human, but, like, you kind of want the arm.
Yeah,
it's like part of it. It's like part of it, Next thing. So, I'm bringing, like, a suitcase of clothes because, the cruise liner... cruise liner like
on the yacht?
No. The cruise liner shops, they're like really expensive. Like you can get a shirt for like $50. I'm not doing that. That's a waste of money. So, and then I'm probably gonna get like Wi-Fi or something, because I'm really bored all the time.
Is Wi-Fi an object I can bring somewhere?
Yeah,
it's a router. So
yeah, Isaac's really ripping into this. This idea here.
You're putting down here.
I think Isaac doesn't like me, I think
hey, you can make me like you, and I'll like you.
I don't think he likes me because I'm in Latin.
That too. Yeah, Latin's are weird.
Yeah. Okay,
alrighty then. We're gonna move on to our next question.
All right, who is your favorite committed pregame feaster?
Yeah. So not to toot my own horn, but it isn't me. I'm saying definitely Isaac. I think he brings a lot to the feast. I mean, if it's not in food, he's bringing like at least 4 people on his own to pregame every single time. And like, that's a lot. And, they're not committed people, but still they're people nonetheless. Like last time he brought Julian in. That was pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, we got Isaac the recruiter. I like it.
I love it.
All right. And here's a bonus question. You might get a little fossil sticker nice on your paper here. So who is Doug Moser?
Doug Moser. It seems kind of familiar, but I'm sorry, I can't put my name put a name to a face or anything. I will make an argument for why I would forget this. So at Latin Form, I've been calling someone Eliza with an H at the end for like 2 months now, and it turns out I've been pronouncing her name wrong for the entirety of those 2 months. So I'm really not good with names.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Well, that's a good justification.
Yeah, I messed up someone's name for 2 months and they didn't correct me. So, it takes skill for that.
That is.
I like it.
That was all good.
Rendered speechless,
Yeah.
Of course. Well, thanks for coming out with your audition. You're gonna be entered into our judging arena, and then.
Before I go, be careful with the other guy. He's been making weird noises in the waiting room for a while. It's really scary.
Oh boy,
I will take care of him. Don't worry.
I wonder who's next. All right. Anyways, thanks for coming in.
Bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah.
Farewell.
You're listening to Pregame Podcast.
All right, and our next guest is Mr. Liam. Welcome, Liam.
Good morning, Liam. Welcome.
Good morning, Liam. Morning, evening, afternoon.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Yeah. Hey guys.
All right, so we're going to be asking you a few questions for your audition for Pregame Chancellor. Jake.
All right. Welcome. All right. Do you eat pizza cold?
That's a good
Okay,
question.
it depends. There's some very specific kinds of pizza that are good cold, right? Like cold sauce, that's what's really the deal breaker for me, right? If it's a
Really?
saucy pizza like
Ooh.
Papa John's, and then like I get all that cold sauce and I bite into it and it's cold liquid in my mouth, then I don't like it.
What about a white sauce pizza? Would you eat that cold? Because I feel like I might.
White sauce. I guess I would. I haven't eaten that many white sauce pizzas,
Alright.
so I wouldn't have a good frame of reference.
All right. Next
Nice
question.
answer.
How many people can fit in your car in the clown car style?
Okay. Legally or like by the design that some guy
Any way you want.
Clown cars are super legal,
Alright,
so let's
any way
just
you
stick
want.
to that. Clown car style.
All right. People my size or like people your size?
Average size.
All right.
Let's say a 5'9" male.
5'9" male.
How many pregame feasters could you fit in your car clown car style?
Okay. Let me think. Do they have to breathe?
They have to stay
Yes.
alive for the duration of the drive.
Okay, yes. I can drive them up to the pregame field in this entirely hypothetical scenario. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can do like 3 in the trunk, right? Like they'd have to stack in like
Probably.
sardines. And, like they'd have to watch their face when the hinges come down, so it'd be 3 in the trunk. Actually, I don't know what would be more efficient because my back seats flop down, so they could all like stack on top of each other like sardine style. Like if I flop it
Yeah.
down and it's just like a massive bed, I could fit like maybe 6 people layered. Wait, no, not 6, 8. 8 people layered on top of each other in the back seat.
Oh, he knew the calculation. He knew to correct
Yeah.
it.
And
This guy knows his car.
'cause I was thinking like I could
And he knows
line
his
people
pizza.
up. I mean, I think like because I think about sleeping in that car sometimes. I'm like, all right, how many of me could I line up, or how many sleeping pads, which are about my size, can I line
Right.
up? And if I stack them one on
How
top
many
of each
people
other,
are
that'd
sleeping
be
in your car
8
with you,
people.
man?
Just me.
Okay.
It's just
All right.
It's
All right, and so I'm not done here.
Okay, keep going.
All right. And so that would be on top of each other. If you really want to stack them to the ceiling, that might be like 2 more people. So that's a solid 10. Plus 1 person like under all the seats laying flat. Like when they flop down, there's that little area where people's feet normally go. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be 1 more person. So we're looking at 11 right now, and just in the back seat.
Word.
Dang, that's impressive.
All right. So the next question will be.
Wait, well, I mean that's just in the back seat plus 2 people in the front. So I'd say solid 13 plus a guy
He's
sitting
not
on the
done,
shotgun
Jake.
guy's lap.
Let
So
the man
14.
calculate.
Yeah, it's 14 people, I think, would fit without breaking the
I
laws
think
of
I
physics
think you're
or
free to
nature.
speak now, Jake.
Are we including
right.
the frunk or?
Very
okay,
great
here
answer.
we go.
If I took out
Alright,
the engine
so-
block, I'd say another 4 people.
All right, man.
All
I
right.
think we
Plus
should
2
move
people
on
to
from
push.
here.
All right,
The
let's
next
so-
question.
All right, I'll
be-
take this one, Jake. I'll take this one.
Word.
So, on the topic of cars, this is Pregame Feast. Cars are an extremely important part now. We got our little crop circle, our little cowboy style ring going on out in the backfield.
For
By
sure.
the way, what kind of car do you drive, Liam? What does your feasting chariot look like?
My
Describe
feasting
that.
chariot.
Yeah,
My
here's a picture.
yeah. All right, so it's a 16 Toyota Corolla.
Okay.
It's small, but back flops down. You can basically turn it into the Fortress of Dreams if you're out in the middle of
The
Port
Fortress of
Mount
Dreams,
Rifle and
I like
Pistol
that a
Fort.
lot.
Fortress of Dreams.
Awesome.
Dude, I'd
Yeah.
love to take a nap in the Fortress of Dreams.
Just
Now, I'll
don't
take the next
get
question.
on you.
There is wait, Fisher. Let's finish the first question. All right.
We figured out what he drove.
So,
He got
all right. There's a part 2
dreams
to this question. All right. This is
Oh,
a multi-point
it's
question.
a 2-part question.
So-
Fisher, I told you
Oh,
about my custom horn system, right? That I'm installing.
Oh yes, everyone. This is actually one of the things I was going to ask about. Liam is installing a very special custom horn system. I'm sorry to butt in, Isaac, but I think that we should all listen to this.
I want to hear about this.
Pretty monumental.
All right, yeah, I've added a few modifications to my car, including some, nice, half-decent rims,
Like it, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, air fresheners. Like every single service, if you can put an air freshener, my car's got one. And then you got the sleeping thing in the back, right?
Excellent.
And then I'm gonna be putting in the custom horn system in the front.
How often do you actually sleep in your car?
Once every month or so.
Okay, that's all right. So you
For
seem
fun or out of necessity?
Sometimes both.
Okay.
All right, interesting, very interesting. So you seem like you strike me as the kind of guy who knows your way around your car pretty well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you seem very familiar. So here's a really intricate question that's really going to test how well you know yourself in your car.
Definitely.
All right. You, hypothetical scenario, you are on the road, right? Populated road, full of people. You're driving your car.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the challenge. You can floor your car to a max speed, whatever that may be, all right? And after that, you have to take your foot off the gas, pop your car in neutral, and you can keep your momentum. You can keep coasting. How many people do you think you could hit with this momentum?
Very good question.
Okay. So,
this is
what do you mean by hit?
Yes, this by
conservation of
Alright,
momentum.
So we'll talk about I think of your average adults, right? You can just line a bunch of people up on this road, and you hit. Let's just say you have to knock them over. All right, you have to hit them with enough force for them to be knocked over, pushed out of the way, effectively.
And these are all optimal wind conditions, proper humidity.
Yeah, don't worry about all the nitty gritty details like that. Just how many people do you think you could hit with one punch of juice in your car?
Okay, so depends on what maneuver I'm pulling to hit these people.
Anything
Head
you
on.
want, man. Optimize it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say pit maneuver, right? That's how the police catch people during chases.
Mm-hmm.
So I would most likely target the back left or right side, and then turn into it to cause them to spin out, and get thrown out of the way. Yeah, basically.
Just drifting straight into him. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'd try to pit as many cars as possible, which I think also depends on the kind of car. I'm pretty sure I could do say 6 lime green Kia Souls and maybe 10 Ford Fiestas.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, well that concludes my question. Fisher, you got something to say, or are we handing the mic back to Jake?
So I'll give a little bit of context for this question. Liam here is a very avid collector, enjoyer, and all-around eater of MREs.
Oh yes, definitely.
What does it stand for? Military
Meal ready to eat.
Meal ready to eat. Military.
He actually appeared on our school broadcast with a segment for this.
Yes, he was in our
Pregame was also on the school broadcast. Just
yes, that too.
Last year.
And so some of you, while you may know that he enjoys these ready-to-eat meals, other people might not know that he frequently keeps stashes of them where he travels to, like fields and trips that he may take around the area. So, Liam, I would like to know, what is it that goes into your frame of reasoning in deciding when and where to stash your MREs and other goodies?
I think I normally pick it as someplace where I'm either A, going to be with a lot of people, B, somewhere I'm going to be for a long period of time, and C, somewhere where there's not much other food, or where food is expensive.
And so what is your preferred method of storing when you go about stashing these MREs?
Either old pretzel containers, or the ammo boxes, right? Like military ammo boxes. They're like $10 at a surplus store. Yeah, those.
And do you bury them? Do you hide them in shrubbery? What do you do?
It depends. I normally pick a landmark that I know pretty well. Just a bit. Okay, so you know how you're driving onto the pregame field, and then there's the generator, and then a bit past it, there's a pallet leaning up against a couple of posts?
Yes.
Okay, so right behind that, there's a stash. It's not MREs, but it's something else I found. Next pregame, y'all can go check that out.
And do you only leave it in the immediate area, like let's say a 20-mile radius, or do you leave them all over the state?
I leave them all over the state, basically anywhere where I know. Like I said, I go off, and there's some down in Tampa, Florida.
You have some in Tampa. Oh, that's great. You are a prepared man. Well, that pretty much concludes the extent of my question as well. Jake, I know that you were itching to ask Liam something. Go ahead with that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's say you're sitting down at a table, right?
Right.
How
Like at a
many
restaurant?
inches of a sub sandwich could you eat in one sitting?
Isaac, if you want to give them
Alright.
a little bit of context for this question.
All right, so we have been trying to calculate. All right, each of our candidates. How should I say this? Our hoagie ratio, the grinder quotient, if you will. Okay. So what we're doing is we're asking if you could sit down at a table. You can sit here for as long as you want. But the rule is you can't get up. All right, you got to be sitting at this table. And you have an hypothetically infinitely long submarine sandwich sitting in front of you. Okay, it's not like understuffed, overstuffed. Just think your normal run of the mill sandwich, right? Something you get from Subway, the ringleader, even, anything like
Scooby-Doo
that.
style.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo style. You just
style,
you
yeah.
got a normal looking sandwich in front of you, but it's super long. How many inches of this sandwich do you think you could eat in this one sitting?
All right. Are we talking Subway diameter?
Sure.
So, normal meal at a Subway for me is, foot long and a bag of chips. Bag
Gotcha.
of chips isn't really much. Another thing I normally get is soda, which I normally drink before because, God knows the random lady at the 7-Eleven Subway that I'm currently ordering at is taking a while, and I'd probably be faster just going back there and doing it myself, but that's besides the point.
Right.
And a story for another time.
Now, Isaac, I would like to interject on the topic of soda. Is he allowed a beverage, or must
No.
he consume it all?
Definitely
without-
not. Definitely not.
Well,
No beverage,
with
You're
okay.
allowed a beverage.
actually a soda, no beverage would actually be beneficial to me because once the carbonated soda hits your stomach, it releases the carbon dioxide once it hits the acid.
He knows his biology.
And then it basically causes a gas expansion in your stomach, which if you don't burp it up, makes your body have a sensation of being full. So I could eat more sandwich on an empty stomach with no soda and no beverage
All
than
right,
I
we'll go
could
that
if
route
I
then.
drank soda.
Tell us, how much sandwich do you think you could have?
All right. Depending, like, on a normal basis, it would be a foot long. Plus, no soda, I could probably do a foot long and a half. And then if I was actually trying, I'd say 2 foot longs to about 6 inches. Well, wait, no. 2 foot longs and 6 inches. Maybe even pushing 3 if I tried hard enough.
Wow.
All right,
that's
so
impressive.
you said
All right.
your max limit is probably, you said, if you're pushing yourself a lot, 2 foot longs plus 6 inches. All right.
Yeah.
Now we all know Subway footlongs aren't exactly 12 inches long. They're like, what, 11 inches?
No. I recently watched
Give or
something.
take.
It is exactly 12
Really?
inches long.
Exactly.
It is precisely 12 inches.
They've rectified themselves. Okay.
Wait, what is
so
this now outdated info you were getting from Isaac?
I don't
What
know.
was-
Just
what
what
was
I
the
know.
source of
What I thought was true. Anyway, I guess a foot long is 12 inches. So you've got the 24 plus the 6. You said you could take 30 inches of sub in
30
one
inches.
sitting. All right. Now, Liam, how tall are you, sir? About
About 5'6".
About 5'6". All right.
It's
So
calculating
that
time.
equates what, 66 inches?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If I can do
66.
quick maths. All right, 66
Right,
inches. You are
give that
66
an-
inches tall approximately. You say you can take 30 inches of sub in one sitting. That brings your grinder quotient to 0.45. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Awesome.
All right. Next question. How do you overthrow a country? What's your go-to method to overthrow a country?
Ooh, I like
Well,
this.
all
the same
the
way
greats-
that
all the greats
the
have
same way
their
that I
answers.
destabilized my 5th period chemistry class.
Ooh, tell us. Do tell.
All right, so I
Steel
find
wool, I presume.
well, that's part of it. It's having a complex understanding of the area where you're going and understanding the kinds of people who you would like to cause trouble. You would find that people.
Okay.
This is sort of what many great powers have done throughout the ages. You see Russia doing this before they invade any small Eastern European country. I go in there, find
Oh,
the
absolutely. I understand what you're doing.
random,
Yeah.
in the case of my 5th period chemistry class, I find that group of kids, if you know who I'm talking about. And then I leave them with steel wool and a battery. I leave them with a bunch of water bottles. I leave them with hot wax. And then I kick back and let calamity ensue. And then at the very last second, I come in and propose a solution. So that's what I do. Replace, that group of kids with armed insurgents in Venezuela. And then, boom, stuff's hitting the fan. I come in and I say, hey, people, would you like a ruler that'll, get rid of crime and treat you guys with respect and improve the economy? Well, guess what? Here's me. And then that's, boom, I become the supreme leader of Venezuela.
That
Very
sounds
interesting,
good.
Liam.
That's an interesting.
Right.
That's pretty creative.
So the next 2 questions will be
Actually, wait. There's one other thing I might add.
Oh.
Yeah. Either do it myself, where I propose a solution as I run for president and then propose a solution that'll fix the issue, or I become the president of another large international power, do the same process, and instead say that the place cannot govern itself, and thus I must step in to be able to, defend the freedoms of the people.
So a more imperialistic approach. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on what kind of assets I have. Yeah.
You seem very capable. You seem to have put a lot of thought into this. I like that. That's a very good trait. Anyway, as Jake was starting to say, we got 2 more. I got 2 more questions for you at least. Don't know about the rest of our hosts, but I've got 2 important things I want to ask you.
Right.
First, do you know what a po' boy is, and have you ever held one?
Yes, I have.
All right, next question.
Fantastic, thank you. Next question. Liam, you've got a choice.
Right.
Bacon, boiled, or grilled?
Never tried boiled bacon before. Sounds like it'd be half decent, but I'd prefer grilled.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's all I have for you.
All right, and then the last question here is, what would you bring to the pregame feast as Chancellor?
Okay, so I was
one item.
Can it be a person?
No, like a feastable item. If that feastable item is a person, so be it. But we prefer it to be.
The idea wouldn't be to consume a person, but yeah, that's called cannibalism. That's frowned upon.
As in, what would you bring to the feast? Like, if you were to hire, or what would you bring to it? Would you bring more games? Would you bring more food items? Would you make a list for the who's bringing what, or you know how it is. So what would you do?
Yeah, what's your contribution?
My contribution would probably be, especially in a connected world, it's important to have connections. I'm known as the guy who always knows a guy, so I'd probably find someone, maybe a certain Brevard County sheriff, who might be willing to do an outreach program.
Ooh.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, very interesting.
Love to see it. I would love to see it.
Maybe pull some strings, get some of the other people I know down there. Maybe famous astronauts, and maybe if I cross my fingers and play my cards right, a certain and some possible Nigerian rapper, right?
Ooh.
Whoa.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And that is all we have. So thank you very much, Liam, for your time.
Thanks for coming out, Liam.
Thank you so much for coming, Liam.
So those were our first 3 interviews, and if you want to see the next interviews for Chancellor, stay tuned for our next episode.
Well, everyone, I hope you really enjoyed today's podcast.
Definitely.
If you are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We would love to have you back here, and we always appreciate all the community support we get. I don't know, guys. I think that already our first 3 interviews are going to make it pretty tough to choose the Chancellor.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be really interesting to see what our next few candidates bring to the table, because they've got some competition.
They have got some serious competition.
And if you want to see those next interviews, you can come tune into our next episode, episode 3. It'll be coming out soon, and you can see the rest of those interviews and even find out who has won the auditions.
So make sure to like, subscribe, even comment who you think should be a part of the pregame committee as pregame chancellor. And we hope to see you out feasting very, very soon. See you.